the lights come down and I leave the stage, it's you that makes it all worthwhile.
Welcome to Direction of the Heart, WebTV Skype discussion series. I'm your host, Mike Aloia from beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, with my partner, Mr. DeLorenzo from New Jersey, and also Miss Kelsey Coan, musician, songwriter, entertainer, actress, also from New Jersey. Hi, Pete. Hi, Kelsey. Great to see you guys.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being on our discussion series. And our basic topic is a message of global peace. There's so much going on in this world, so chaotic, and, you know, we're all striving for a peaceful world. And in order to make that happen, I believe it's people like you, Kelsey, that has written these beautiful songs that touch the heart. And you're doing your part towards a more peaceful world. And you're a very beautiful young lady. You've got everything it takes to be a star. And you know, I could see just by talking to you, you're a humble young lady, and you're also an Italian girl, which, like I said, I'm Italian, Pete's Italian, so you know I can feel the love there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how long have you been writing songs, and how old are you?
I am 18.
Wow.
And I started writing songs about a year ago. So.
Do you write all your own lyrics?
I'm sorry?
You write all your own lyrics?
Yes. I've written 9 originals, and I co-wrote them.
You play guitar?
No, I'm actually learning to play guitar, but all of my music is done by Kit Wharton at Right Touch Studios. He is awesome. He plays all the guitars, all the banjos, and the piano and stuff, and he's a really good engineer, and I'm really glad to have him.
Oh, gosh. So you're just graduating high school.
Yep.
Wow. I have a daughter that's 18 years old, getting ready to graduate. And how long have you been writing songs and recording?
I've been recording for about a year and a half, and I just started writing my own lyrics about a year ago.
Okay, you're pretty much self-producing yourself, correct?
I'm sorry?
You're self-producing yourself, correct? I mean, do you have a producer, or you're self-producing?
My producer is Kit Wharton, as I said, so he does all the music for my songs.
Mm-hmm.
And he helps me with the melody and helps me fit the words into the music, and he also records all my songs.
I noticed that you got some country. It's country, almost like you almost remind me of a Fleetwood Mac, sorta, with a country twist. But also, it's geared. I noticed some of the songs are geared towards our troops and those men and women fighting for our freedom. What made you write about those topics?
Well, the song that I have is called Something to Stand For, and I co-wrote it with a songwriter from Nashville. His name's Chuck Thomas. And my grandfather was in the Vietnam War from 68 to 69. And he and my great-grandfather was in the army. So they were big influences on the song. And it's amazing how much all these troops do for us, and they give us freedom, and I'm very thankful for it, and I'd love to share my message and get other people out there just appreciating them as much as I do, and a lot of other people do. So
I'll tell you what, Pete, this young lady right here understands what living in a free world is all about, and she's using her God-given talents, and I've got to say kudos to you, Kelsey. You rock.
I was just going to say, Mike, that, you know, Something to Stand For was one of the very first songs that I heard by Kelsey.
Awesome. I heard it.
I became familiar with her work, but what drew me, too, not only her patriotism, her love for our country, her love for God. You see, these are the things that struck me, that she comes from a wonderful family. I had the honor of speaking with her when we first met, and I became friends with her on Facebook. After hearing her music, reading of her background, I approached her, and she called me with her mom. I spoke with her mom on the phone. Lovely people, and I just have so much admiration for her and the work that she has set out to do, not for her self-gain. Yes, she's an artist, and that's her aspiring goal, is to be a recording artist, which she already is. And I think she's a star waiting to happen, and I'm not just saying that to flatter you, Kelsey. I mean that from my heart. But, you know, she has done so much for her community. The elderly, our vets, our troops, anti-bullying, senior citizens. She's come out and given of her own time, love, and talent, and is that not what we are about on this show, is the direction of the heart in giving where there is need, and to those that are in need. And Jesus said, when I was hungry and you fed me not, when I thirst and you gave me not drink, when I was in prison and you visited me not. And he gave that as a metaphor or a parable, that we are to administer to those in need. And this young lady, at the age of 18, I mean, is a role model to young people her age. She is a role model in my eyes. And if ever I were to have a daughter, I certainly would love to have a daughter like her.
You know, I tell you, you know, a lot of people say that the next generation, you know, doesn't get it, and a lot of older folk are scared about the new generation. You got a lot of, you know, guys out there, you know, getting girls pregnant, not marrying them. They've got multiple babies everywhere, and they're wearing their pants down past their ankles, the bad boy image, the gangster thug. And on the whole topics of all that, you've got people like you out there that are just inspiring other people. And I believe that, you know, there's always an imbalance. You've always got the ones that are never going to get it. Then you've got the ones that are, you know, born to inspire. And I believe that, you know, you remind me a lot of my daughter in a lot of ways. She loves music. She writes. She went through a lot of problems with high school. She had the bullying. Now they're talking about on the internet, there's a lot of trolling going on. And, you know, trolls that terrify young women like you. They actually had an interview with this troll that had spoke with the woman that he was terrorizing. And there's so many people that have so much anger built up in them. They're men that have, you know, been wronged by women, or everything fell apart, and they take all that anger and frustration out on other women and people that terrorize them. And there's just so much chaos going out there. And I think that there needs to be more girls like you and more people like you that write songs and try to inspire others to do well. And I believe that you are a prime example of what Direction of the Heart is all about.
Absolutely.
And I am very honored to meet you, and I think you've got a wonderful career ahead of you. And I believe God is placing his hand upon you, darling.
Absolutely.
You're chosen to do his work and to guide and draw others to that light.
And she's heeding the call, you see. I mean, God can talk to us. But if we don't listen, we don't hear.
What is Kelsey's, you know, you as a young person, with all the war going on right now with ISIS and everything happening with the Middle East, the bombings in Yemen, ISIS had just kidnapped 150 children, Iraqi children. Mm-hmm. You know, they're ripped out from under their families in the middle of that. It's insanity. What does this horrify you? How does this make you feel as a young person growing up this day and age?
It's crazy how they're not only affecting adults, but they are taking children away from their families and just terrorizing them and like mentally abusing them, and maybe physically, and just knowing that they're just kids and they can't really do anything about it, and they don't really have a say in what happens. It's crazy, and I don't think it.
Well, I was watching the Israeli news when they had reported this, and what's happening is these people like Hezbollah, ISIS, and all these groups, they steal these children, and the boys, what they do is they force them and train them to fight for them, and the girls, they either marry them off at 8, 9 years old, or they have them sold off into sex slaves. I mean, this is chaotic. It's insanity. And, you know,
there's a lot of this sex trafficking going on, and it's not just in these foreign countries. Kelsey, if I might.
It's terrible.
Not to put you on the spot, but for, in way of interview, Mike and I, and for our viewers, because you are a very bright, brilliant, intelligent young lady, in the world that we are living in, and you're facing things that, you know, we never thought, even when I go back when I was your age, things, Mike, that we never saw in the world that these young people, such as Kelsey and others, are growing up into, and not just abroad with the ISIS and the Taliban and Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, we've never heard of things like this growing up.
We're talking about right within the communities and the schools and things that, you know, peer pressure, the drugs that are out there, the promiscuity, the bullying, which is causing many young people to go into severe depression, cutters, suicide, all of these horrible things. Kelsey, what do you think, in your opinion, that you can do, and what you are? I could clearly see you are doing certain things, but what can you educate us to, and our viewers to do, that we can maybe do more of with the young people in way of lieu of
try to put a stop to this.
Not having this
towards,
and
being a voice for humanity.
We'll never totally eradicate it, but what can we all do, all of us collectively do, to put a hook on this, to contain it?
What's your thoughts, Kelsey?
Yeah, we'd like your take on that.
Well, I am completely against bullying. As you can tell by most of my songs, I try and send a message that people don't know, like the bullies don't know what they're actually doing to the people that you're bullying, and all the mental trauma that is putting on them, and how it affects their feelings and the way that they live, because everything, it's making them self-conscious. And I feel that's what kind of happened with me. It kind of put me in a shell, and it makes me wonder, like, if someone says I'm pretty, and when I was younger I was told, oh, well, you're ugly or whatever, like, you feel like you can't trust certain people because you were told at such a young age at the time where you usually get all this information, and it sticks in your head. And just having people say that, it really messes with your mind, and it makes you think that you're not good enough. And with all the suicides and the cutting and just everything that you hear, all because of bullying, I think it's crazy. It's got to the point where people can't take it anymore. And once they go and commit suicide, you can't do anything about it. It's like they're gone. You can't say you're sorry for all the bad things that you said to someone. And even when they supposedly say that they're sorry, that doesn't help after how many years that you've put this person down. And that's one of the main things that I want to get out there. And I want people to know that it's not okay to put people down and shove them away and say that they're not good enough or that they're not pretty enough. And I think that everyone is unique in their own way, and they shouldn't be put down for the things that maybe they're not as good as someone else, or just because you're bigger or you're smaller or don't look like model doesn't mean that you should be called ugly or be ashamed of who you are. So one thing that I would say to let people know, like, what the best thing to do is, just if you're being bullied, or if just anybody saying anything or doing anything to you that is not right and you know it's not right, go to an adult, go to someone. Because when I was younger, I didn't tell my parents at first. I just let it go. And then finally I told them, and I moved schools and it got better. But just telling people, just having someone to have and to confide in a friend or family, and just let them know. Just let someone that you really trust.
I tell you what, Kelsey, you have really, by just sitting here listening to you, you're really touching my heart, because I went through this on both ends of the spectrum. I watched my youngest daughter go through it, and she got through it, and she turned everything into a positive manner. But like I said, there's other people out there that can't get through it, and then they end up taking their own lives. And a lot of our troops are committing suicide that are coming home, you know, with PTSD and all that. And on the same token, that also bullying, there's many different levels of bullying, not just bullying someone and directly targeting them, but there's bullying in relationships too. And, you know, you get angry at each other, there's stress, there's money problems. You know, I grew up where my mom and dad, they were yelling and screaming, and, you know, there's belittling, there's anger, there's fighting, and that passes on. I think that a lot of people hold a lot of anger, and if there's a way that we can remove the anger and hatred and have to take that anger out on somebody else, I think there has to be some type of rehabilitation somewhere, some way in an education system of an anger management type course, because I went through anger management. I had a very bad divorce after 20 years. I was angry. I had a drug problem. I had everything. I had the beautiful wife, the kids, lost everything and became homeless. And I was an angry man inside for a long time. And, you know, I bullied my wife because out of anger, and I belittled, and I did things which later in life I found out by turning to God that anger was removed. And, you know, I have learned how to talk to people, treat people as people with feelings. And I think that's the problem in society, is nobody cares about other people's feelings in most ways.
In most cases,
they're very selfish.
Yeah. In most cases, that's true, Mike. If I might interject, Kelsey, you are a very mature young lady, and I took in a lot of what you just said when you spoke just now. And you see, when Mike, we brought this out in past show. I got to get this out. That and embodying what you just said as well. That when people do these type of things, sometimes they're doing it not even intentionally. There is so much hurt, pain, anger, guilt harbored up from things that happen in their life, that now Johnny or Janie goes to school and they have to leash it out on someone because they're not happy with themselves. So they bully Johnny or Janie or whoever. It happens in relationships. It happens in marriages. Apostle Paul is definitive in the scriptures that when someone does these things to you, keep showing them love and kindness. And he uses metaphorically it is as heaping coals of fire upon their head, that hopefully this person's going to say, what the heck am I doing? Why am I treating this person this way when all they've done is be kind to me? That's what you would hope for. Yet there are times where if they are so damaged from all that has happened in their past, and that now they are wounded, they are broken chairs. And Kelsey, when you were younger, sure, you didn't know, and you harbored it. You were afraid to speak about it. And this is what happens with many young people. And you don't retaliate, because the Bible says recompense not evil with evil, but recompense evil with good. But sometimes they can't see the good because they never had it and it's foreign to them. And they just project because they are not happy with themselves. So, Kelsey, you brought out a very good example is, yes, you relocated schools, you went on with your life. God has blessed you with talents. You are using them to help others. Amen. And bottom line, that's the seed. That's what we're looking for. That's the seed to be planted.
What you're doing,
that's the remedy that we can give right now. We're not Jesus. We're not God, but we are instruments in his hands. And that's the only thing we can do is keep putting that love out there. And for someone that's going to say a vile word or blame us for this or that, or want to pile all their past on you, or whatever it might be, in a friendship, in a relationship, in a marriage, in a business rapport, you can't let that happen either. They have to self-identify. They have to walk with God, go towards the light, constant prayer, faith in God, and that is the way when people like you, Kelsey, Mike, myself, others, try to plant that seed of love, that's the beginnings of turning it around.
Kelsey, have you ever confronted one of your bullies? That somebody has bullied you?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't think I actually did confront a bully. I mean, I've overcame it, and I moved away from it, and I learned from it not to let other people bring you down and take you down with them, to embrace it and say, this is me, and not.
Well, what if somebody bullied you and hurt you very badly, came up to you tomorrow and called you on the telephone and said, Kelsey, I am so sorry for what I did to you. I am so sorry I bullied you. What would be your response to that person?
I would honestly forgive them. I don't believe in holding grudges towards anyone. And by showing that you forgive someone, especially if they've done you wrong or done anything to hurt you, it shows that they can move on and you can move on from it. And maybe they will do that with someone else, and it'll be like a chain reaction.
What is a solution? Like, I don't want to get back to the war, but there is a war going on. And these people are in our backyard, and they are bullying us. They're bullying other nations. They're killing people. What is a solution? Obviously, peace talks don't work. Obviously, can you forgive these people that are killing women and children and genocide? How do you forgive them? As a human being, that's a tough call to do. I mean, that's the ultimate bullying, but yet Jesus tells us to forgive our enemies. But yet we've got to fight them and stop them and from doing. What is the solution? Where is the medium? How do we do this? If you're a young person, what would be your message to the White House, to the United Nations?
There you go.
What would be your message as a young person? What would you like to see happen? How do we stop this?
Well, I honestly don't know. I never liked wars. I never liked hearing about people going out and having to kill others, even if you were told to by someone that's above you. I never believed in any of that, and I don't think anyone should have to die or kill someone else just because they were told to.
Well, I understand and I respect that, but on the same token, I mean, reality. Must we go to war in order to have peace?
On that note, not to interrupt, but Kelsey was definitive on and made that a very clear point that none of us want to see war. And here's a beautiful young lady going forward with her life, with her music, talent that God has given, and none of us want to see killing and war. And we know, we discussed this many times, that there's always going to be the barbaric people because that was ingrained to them in these foreign and third world countries to hate and war. But it's been since the beginning of time, and none of us will totally be able to eradicate the evil that's in the world until Christ comes back. But in the meantime, the Kelseys and the Mikes, and I'll put myself last on the list, but people that do care, that is the beginnings of the healings. And one thing I wanted to say is that, stemming from what Kelsey said earlier, when you asked if she ever confronted anyone, there's always a confrontation. It doesn't have to be having words with that person or getting in a verbal volleyball or a fight. But when this does confront you, Jesus taught us. He did rebuke, okay? He was in a position to, but he did rebuke. He never judged, but he rebuked. And he rebuked the Pharisees and rebuked those that were the money changers in the temple. All right? So there are times we might have to, through kindness and love and tough love, rebuke. But you never demean someone. A lot of times they misinterpret everything you say, that when you are constructively trying to help them, they think that you're putting them down or dragging them through the dirt or rubbing things in their face when you are just saying no. But what happens, Kelsey, let me ask you this. In relation to when Mike said, what if that person called you and asked, I messed up, forgive me. Beautiful. That's what we would want. Everyone should do that. But what happens if that person continually, whether they realize it or not, keeps coming back and doing the same thing again and again and again? And half the time they don't realize it because they're not happy with themselves. And Hitler use the Jews as his scapegoat. People that go on a playground at a school, or people that go out into the world and want to punch somebody in the nose or stab somebody or shoot somebody. They're using somebody or something as their scapegoat. So what do you think that we might be able to do to try and turn that around?
I think that if you can't move on from something and you keep doing something and you don't realize that you're doing it, you should really look deep down and see what problems you're having and the feelings that you're having, and see how you can fix them without hurting other people. Because everyone has problems. Everybody has enemies or people that they might not like as much as other people. But you don't have to express your feelings in a negative way. There's always certain ways.
Right.
You can always walk away from someone.
Love one, but yet sometimes it's necessary.
This has been really, I can't believe the time.
I know. We're talking about the world, and
you have such a beautiful light and a beautiful spirit, and I can tell that you have an old soul. And I know some of these topics that we threw at you kind of threw you for a loop, but it makes you think about a lot of things. And you're only 18 years old, and you're going to have a long, beautiful life and a wonderful journey, and you're going to experience many, many things. Me as a father, I try to guide my children, and I think that's what everybody needs. I believe children and people and adults need guidance. They need love. They need appreciation. They need to be encouraged. There's too much bullying. There's too much of fighting and chaos and yelling and screaming and belittling. And your music touches the heart. And I pray that the Lord brings more people like you, Kelsey, in order to inspire. I told Pete DeLorenzo on our last show with Dave Perez from Tennessee, he's got the Jerusalem Project. I said, Dave, you know what? You need to take those CDs, get somebody to sponsor you, and drop a whole truckload of CDs over Yemen. And let these people listen to the music. I think music is the most universal way to touch the heart, and it's a way to make a change towards the direction of what's real and peace.
Kelsey, you've been doing that. God has gifted you, and you are doing that, and that's why we're all very proud of you. Was proud to have you on Global last year, going to be proud to have you on this year, and hopefully we'll go even more wide with it. Working on that already, working on with the UN delegates, but we want to say to you that you've already experienced, as you conveyed in this interview, when you were younger, certain things, and no doubt, as Mike brought out, there's more in life that you will experience, and you certainly have good guidance from wonderful parents. You've got God in your life. You're using the talents He have given you, and God bless you for that. And we're so honored to have you as a guest today, and very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm honored to
you go, girl, and you be an example, and you are.
Well, I tell you what, I do enjoy your music, your songs, your writing. Words are so powerful. Becoming a voice of inspiration is powerful. People do that through music, through poetry, through writing. And I also write a column called Walk the Turtle. And I don't know, Pete's a songwriter as well, and he writes beautiful things. And artists are the ones that need to come forward. And there's so many talented, gifted people out there. When I write each week, I write this column, and I ask God for the words to come through me. Sometimes I look at this stuff I write, I'm like, I can't believe I wrote that.
God talking through us. Absolutely.
I want you to tell everybody how they can check you out, where they can purchase your CD, all that, and then I'm going to share with you a little bit of my writing, and maybe I can inspire you.
Yay! Well, my website is www.kelseycoanmusic.com, and on there is links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media, and all my music is on there, and my bio and everything about me and how you can contact me. And
Are you on Reverb Nation as well?
Yep, all those links are on my
Kelsey Coan, Coan, correct?
SoundCloud too, I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
And how much are your CDs that you're selling? Are you selling CDs online yet?
We are actually in the process of making them and completing the album. I just finished my last 2 songs for it. So we are going to get the CDs ready and work on distribution, and hopefully that'll be out soon, very soon actually.
Well, Kelsey, on that note, and I've told you this many times, if there's anything I can do to help you and promote you or produce you, certainly, and it's not about the business end or money end, but I believe in you, and I've always told you that from when I first met you. So whatever I can do, and I look forward to meeting you and your lovely parents, and also I would be honored to put you on a show as my opening act. How's that?
Absolutely.
So much.
You're out there already, but we want to get you out there, really out there, where people are going to know that name and know that voice.
Thank you.
So
I'll tell you, we're about ready to wrap it up, and it has been a pleasure. I want to share with you this. I just submitted this for publishing. It should be published tomorrow on No Strings Attached Entertainment News. And I write a inspirational columns called Walk the Turtle. You learn a lot from a turtle in life. Take things slow, just calm down, act like a turtle, do what you're supposed to do in life to exist, and you'll never be homeless. You can always pop right back in your shell.
In the hair, right? You know the metaphor in the story that, you know, he sleeps on the side of the road, the turtle winds up beating out the hair.
Here we go. The title of it is called Devotion. I believe a lot of people don't understand that word. It's not just a word. It goes deep. And
Action.
Within the layers inside our light, beneath the depths of the heart, an invisible force binds our presence by the power of love. Unseen but yet existing part of human spirit, comprised of multiple shapes and understandings, imprinted and connected to our mind, heart, and soul. The seasoned love and mature body reveals the unique admiration to complete loyalty of 2 hearts, found by tears of joy and sorrow. Foreseen and spoken by a voice of higher power, contained by the heart of an artist and creator, it gives us life to our humanity. Trust held by another, holding the feeling close to the passion of respect for deep warmth of our soulmates. By His hand, it guides us. This, a gift nurtured by listening to our inner sanctuary of peaceful thought, brought to life to share with the masses by literature through voice of compassion. Everlasting is this we feel, or broken by betrayal of those who held upon a pedestal, we in experiencing the pain of loss. How complex it may seem, like raindrops that constantly saturate our healing pride, to smile as our eyes seek meaning to calm the blessing human being, to look inside yourself and receive the definitions learned by mistakes made and lives we've met. Beyond the grace of time, it lies deep, like moonlight illuminating the sphere of what is felt, to howl at a wounded sadness as the same aura of innocence surrounds us. An awakening to the reality may bestow a new mindset of understanding the existence of light. Harness this we may feel. Embrace each other's moment as you commit. Walk the turtle at a pace that is infinite. It is the burning sensation that we hold within the palm of our hand, tranquil beneath flesh and bone.
Wow, that's deep, my brother. That's very profound. Very profound. Written from the heart.
Praise God, man.
Absolutely. You know,
God bless you both.
we're all on the same page. And Kelsey, again, our love, and all our viewers here, I'm sure will enjoy meeting you and learning more about you. And we love you, and our love to your family and your loved ones. And you just keep on the path you are on, and the direction of the heart and the direction of the Lord, and you can't go wrong. And as Jesus said, and it works. Even from the cross, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But it works. Just spread the love. Keep planting the good seed.
God bless you, Kelsey. Pete.
Peace and love.
See everybody next week. Thank you for tuning in. This is Mike Aloia with American Hearts Radio Entertainment Network. God bless you.
God bless.
Rock and roll.
You're always there when I'm feeling down. Tease me and we play around. You wipe away all my tears. You help me stand up to all my fears. The best of friends, a perfect fit. 'Cause I can't see my life without you in it. A true friend will never leave your side. Won't just leave it all behind. A true friend would keep you safe, even when you've lost everything. A true friend, a true friend. You help me mend my broken heart, no matter how many times it was torn apart. You take away all my hurt. We always put each other first. You know me better than I know myself. You never put me up on the top shelf. A true friend will never leave your side. Won't just leave it all behind. A true friend would keep you safe, even when you've lost everything. A true friend. We laugh, we cry, we stumble, we fly, we break, we fall, we crumble and crawl. A true friend will be there for it all. A true friend will be there for it all. A true friend. A true friend will never leave your side. A true friend will keep you sane. A true